Majo John Madden in my camper van behind the Diamante Hotel, loving the sight of the cattle grazing just outside the fence. It's feeling soothing, which I need right now. The video that I on one level most need to shoot is one about a big dogfight that happened in this very yard earlier today, the third major dogfight involving the dog that I call the killer dog, because I do believe he would, without qualms, kill any of the three dogs that most hang out with me, and he has tried. And the big dog fight this morning that left me very acutely disturbed had me hitting him pretty hard with a good-sized rock that only enraged him and made him turn on me. I do believe he'd have no qualms about attacking a human. Finally, I jumped over here to the car and grabbed out of this pocket a weapon I've had in there for a long time, mostly used as a kitchen knife. It's a fish filleting knife that I picked up for $7 on South Padre Island, but it's very sharp. I grabbed it, pulled it out of its sheath, made a couple of wild swipes at him, because I do want to kill him. I really do want to kill him before I leave here in a few days, because the other dogs are not safe with him. You may have your own reactions to this, but I feel like it's my mission to get that job done before I leave. Getting all glare. If I go in that direction, let's see if I can change the camera. That doesn't help at all. So I'll keep the focus here. Yeah. So what ended the fight was I believed I shoved that knife into him between his shoulder blades, but I was left holding the shank where it had broken off. So my hope is that the blade is in him, but it may just have snapped off without ever going in him. And so far he's not coming back, so with a little luck maybe he won't. But I do need to talk lots more about that, because it left me extraordinarily shaken. So I want to talk about something nicer. And I don't know how much memory I've got. My phone has got an ongoing battle with memory because I shoot so many videos. And I've been I've taken off all the apps I can. I deleted Facebook entirely, Instagram, same. Meta's new Threads, social media, which I got enthused about, but I, like most people, have also dropped. I can't think of anything, so I'm back to the grinding work of video by video, going back and taking off stuff that's already on YouTube, and I don't think I'll ever put on TikTok. So we'll see. We will see. So the nicer, I can't even tell if that's showing me. I'm just going to hope that it's showing me. What I want to do instead is to talk about Patrice Johnson. I was just having a conversation with my friend Chris Lowry on Facebook Messenger, which I still do use, about that in 16 years of going to Jubilee, which he was not anywhere near as active as I, but he went. And he also had lived at Hanger Hall, which is where the minister lives, still does, Howard Hanger. And he sent me a 50th anniversary article from the Asheville Citizen-Times about Hanger Hall. Howard and Jubilee and Hanger Hall are icons in the Asheville, North Carolina community. So he sent me that. And I wrote back and said, in 16 years of attending Jubilee, only one woman that I can remember that I ever dated. And people would often say to me, so many great women at Jubilee. Why aren't you dating somebody from there? And I think there's lots of answers to that, but that's another whole topic. Patrice Johnson, PJ. I met Patrice in the Jubilee Singles Group, which I had convened and ran for some number of months. And she showed up at one of those meetings, and I thought she was really cool, spunky woman, was riding out a DUI and riding a motor scooter all around town. Hell of a woman. Cute as a button, fun. We spent times together around her dad's place. Her parents lived up on a mountain, and her dad, his bucket list thing, because he was in bad health, was to finish remodeling an antique car. And she's quite handy, so that was her passion. And I fell for her. After 2 dates, I do that. And the only real romance poem I've ever written is called I Want to Give You Space, and it's about Patrice, and it's gotten a great reception from various audiences. I love that poem. And I almost have it memorized, but not quite, and I've got to find it in one of my iClouds. After about the third date, I realized she was just not emotionally available, which she was not. She was taking care of her parents. Her mom was not in great health, and her dad was on his last legs. He finally died, and then she got seriously ill, had a series of strokes. She was somewhat known at Jubilee, Peggy, psychologist, tiny woman, but great woman. And right before I went to the mountains, when the COVID hit, I went to the mountains 3 years ago. And right before I went to the mountains, at Jubilee one day, she was staffing some kind of table for voter registration or something. And she seemed emotionally available. She kept wanting hugs from me. She kept coming back for really luscious hugs. And I thought, well, maybe she is available now. And then I went to the mountains, and every time I'd go to Asheville, I'd reach out to her and not get a reply. Or if I was near Asheville, I'd say, hey, come on up to the mountains, but never got a reply. And then sometime after I'd been out in the mountains several months, I got an email that started with, hi, John, my name is Lisa. I'm Patrice Johnson's, I should have cried. I'm Patrice Johnson's cousin, and I'm sorry to have to write you to inform you of her passing at age 55. When her mom finally passed, and this is the way she said it, and it's totally plausible about Patrice. Patrice couldn't get her life started, could not come up with a way to live for herself, fell into a deep, dark funk, and about a month after her mom passed, she passed of a bleeding ulcer, which no way should have killed a healthy 55-year-old. I cried every day for a month for Patrice. Finally, I went to a really great grieving workshop in Barnardsville, out in the mountains outside of Barnardsville, which is just north of Asheville. The African traditional tribal grief rituals, which includes all of you working on your grief process as deep as you can let yourself go. I screamed and wailed and made a whole lot of noise and went very deep in my grief around Patrice and was better. By Monday, I was weak, exhausted, but not by any means finished, but healthy, whole again, and able to move on. Yeah, Patrice Johnson. And in Patrice's name, I made a commitment to take better care of myself, to get better at asking in relationships for what I want and need. And that hasn't always gone down well with others, but I do believe that it's crucial for me, who's a helper myself. And it's her lasting legacy in me is that I am committed to just put it out there, what I would like in a relationship, what I need, and not just give all the time. Thank you, Patrice. Good woman. Very good woman. Too soon gone.